Animator Island, and I'll be working today on some animation and some illustration work. And yeah, you can watch over my shoulder, we can hang out together and talk all about art and animation. Yeah, if you're looking for like animation tutorials, this is not an animation tutorial. I mean, I will be animating step by step and explaining stuff about the process, and you can ask questions, but if you're just starting out learning animation and you want to have tutorials or something like that, you might want to check out our tutorial playlist instead, which we have here on YouTube and on our website. It's a 2D animation class. That is something that you could watch if you don't want to watch a live stream. Yeah, the animation that I have today is this lovely monster here. Let's zoom in on him a little bit. And I already did some keys and extremes. We're gonna make him jump and come down again. Jump up and come down again. And yeah, today we're gonna continue working on this animation. I'm specifically doing this for a tutorial that is coming out soon, and I'm really looking forward for that one because that's really going into like this animation process here. Now let's make sure that I can see the chat and everything. There we go. How is everybody doing today? Now, just have to push a few things around on my second screen, and then I'll be ready for you guys. Hello, Making ADM. Hello, May It Draws. Nice to see you here. All right. So yeah, I have some basic jump frames here. I have the key, the extreme for the anticipation, the key in the air, which is also an extreme because he's coming down, he's changing in direction. And then I have the extreme, the overshoot of him coming down, and another key. And what we will be adding next are the breakdowns, meaning how does he get from here to there? Okay, that is not that much of a spectacular breakdown, but how is he gonna get from here to up in the air, and how is he gonna get down? Like, those are the breakdowns. It's the middle position. It doesn't always have to be the perfect physical middle, but yeah, it's often understood as the middle position between two keys, and we're gonna add that next, the breakdown. And I'm also recording this on my other screen, so I hope this doesn't cause the stream to lag, because I'm gonna need this for the tutorial that is coming out soon about this. Oh, cannot hear me? Katie said she can hear me. Success audio is fine on my end, so hope... Yeah, okay, so everything seems to be okay. Yeah, welcome, Socks. Good that you got the notification. Nice to have you here. Alright, thank you guys. So, now I'm gonna switch on my onion skin. Maybe I should actually show you the timeline. I'm gonna switch on my onion skin here to the left and right so I can see my previous and my next frame. And as you can see, we have his little monster belly being squashed out all nicely. And we're gonna do kind of a very boring in-between in a way. Let's focus on the big elements first. Let's focus on the tummy and the head. And for both, I'm actually gonna go very much in the middle. I mean, for the head, we're not just gonna go here in the middle. We're gonna have him do a nice little arc, because, you know, arcs are nice. So we're gonna have him bend outward a little, like this. And the belly we just have exactly in the middle. Gonna have it like this. I don't like boring breakdowns like this when you just draw between the red and the green exactly in the middle. I like to use the breakdown for fun stuff. But I think we can add some fun stuff in how we treat the arms. And something I always like to do is also not just do onion skin, but flip through the drawing to see how that feels. And I think that's nice. That's quite nice. But we're gonna do something fun with the arms. While we have that one arm with the what is it called? A pitchfork, a trident. We're gonna have that hand with the trident come up, while the other hand on the other side is coming down. This gives us a nice little counter animation thing. We also have the hand going down, and at the same time we have the trident going up. I love stuff like that during a breakdown. If you have things moving into different directions. Let's mark where we put the hand for the trident, and just take that from the previous frame. Oh, come on, why are you not selecting the whole thing? There we go. All right, nice arc, making sure that the trident is still poking out of the silhouette. Yeah. That looks good. Maybe a little bit of a rotation, I think, would be nice. So we have like not only an arc in how he lifts up the pitchfork, like at the hand position, but we also have an arc for the pitchfork that it's dipping. No, it's not really dipping down, a little bit. Yeah. Natasha says you're doing it very easily. Well, it's still a lot of work, and it's still a lot of trial and error. Like sometimes you might animate something, like even for me, I'm doing animation as a job now for like, I don't know, 12 years, something like this. But you know, some stuff of it is still trial and error. Let's actually trace the shoulder. I think it should be somewhere here. And there we go. But I mean, it gets easier the more you do it. That is certainly true. Let's see if we're already going in a curve for... Yeah, I think so. We're doing a curve in the back already for the breakdown. All right. And something like this for the mouth, very much in the middle. And its big tooth. I like details like that. Okay. Let's put his facial features on. I think his nose is bending like that. And he has this nice little horn that's now coming out in 3D space. Like very nicely. With the ears, let's just trace them from a previous frame to make sure they don't change in size. And attach them. I think they can actually come out a bit. Like they are relatively stiff, so they're not like flopping behind immediately. Hi Animators Inspire, nice to see you again. Chatura asks, can I create mini cartoon videos using OpenToons? Yeah, certainly. You can... And OpenToons, or at least a version of it, has been used for feature film production. Like a version of it has been used at Studio Ghibli. So you can certainly do your own mini cartoons in OpenToons. Let's fill the mouth. Yeah, I like it. All right. It's good to be live streaming again. I kind of like, I'm always like torn, like do I live stream or do I just do this on my own, like listening to a podcast or something, because this is part of a tutorial that I really want to get done soon. Actually, I want to make his fingers more pointy, I think. Not sure why I did the other frame so softly. There you have it. I should do a model sheet and stick to it. I actually did a model drawing. Let's see what I did for the model drawing. I did both for the model drawing. They're kind of like chubby and round here, and then I made them pointy in the other drawing. No, I should really decide for one way or the other. I mean, he is a bit chubby. He could have round fingers, roundish fingertips. Hi, animation. That's a very clear and precise name. I want the arm to kind of protrude and then dip down. So let's flip through this and see. Ah, this is nice. Forgot the tail. I always forget the tail with this one. So we also have like a belly line here that I can draw in the middle of. And now we're doing something fun. Now we're doing some of the fun stuff that I talked about. How about we make it so instead of drawing in the middle, you see, like this is a boring breakdown because you're just drawing in the middle for the tail. Now for the tail, we have a little bit of follow through and overlap. I made a video about this recently on the channel. You should totally check it out if you don't know everything about drag and follow through and overlap. So first of all, it should be pointing in the direction that it is coming from, like this. But then we could also, instead of just having the whole tail in the middle, we could already kind of like overlap and offset everything by, let's say, making this an ease frame for the tail. Like the tail is really close to the stopping position, although everything else is already doing an ease. So I think, yeah, that gives you a nice flick. The flick might actually be a little too strong. It might catch a bit too much attention. This is now all I can see. Like, all I can see is notice the tail flick. Yeah, maybe that's a little bit too much. But I love things like this, like planning little overlaps during the breakdowns already makes me so happy. Because I feel like it makes your animations look so much more interesting. Okay, so let's tone it down a bit. Yeah, I don't think this is something that we can solve right now. We probably have to go more into the in-betweening process to really catch this. But yeah, for now, this is good. Alright, now a big breakdown, one of the big ones. How does it get from down here to up there? Now, for all these like bouncing ball, gravity things, it's very important that, you know, we don't put it exactly in the middle, but we have it like somewhere here, like a third of the way up or something like this, to make sure that we have, you know, a bigger spacing here, and then the motion gets slower, so we have smaller spacing. So gravity on all that stuff, we do that more or less accurately. So let's give us a nice little stretch frame. Let's have him a bit stretched out. And, you know, maybe his head is already very far up. Something like this. Hello, Scott. Nice to see you. Let's get his head volume from over here. There we go. And let's have a nice wide open mouth. Something like this. We can also, you know, go in and test it every now and then, flick through it. Yeah, I think this is getting there. Hello, Wahai. I hope I'm getting all the chat messages. Whoop. Okay, now let's think of a couple different body parts and make them nice. First of all, the hand that is holding the trident. And, you know, as always, we can go in, trace the trident to make sure it keeps the volume. we shouldn't maybe always do that, because it can also make your animation look stiff if you just trace something from the model sheet on every frame. You know, maybe we can do like a little bit of a like perspective foreshortening, like this, you know. But I like to start with the volume that we set for it, and I think it's very important that we have it like seem very heavy, pointing in the direction it came from. Maybe something like this poking out of his silhouette. I forgot to mark where his hands go. That's also very important. If a character is holding something and is sliding along the object, that's not very nice. And it's so difficult to get rid of that once you have the hand sliding around, especially in 2D animation. Like in 3D, if you have like a constraint, it can't move much if it's done properly. All right. So this is nice and heavy. It could actually stretch the arm a bit more. I feel like this is not a very stretched out position for the arm. I like that, how his like silhouette is melting together. Ah, that's already starting to live so much. Whoop. Just by him pulling up the trident that much. Ah, I love it. LDV says, "Hi there, sir. I've recently started watching your videos here. I have really learned a lot." Ah, that's great to hear. Just want to ask, to learn the physics part of animation, what exercises would you recommend for beginners? I mean, there's the very classic ones, like the bouncing ball, stuff like that. Definitely something you should start with. Animate balls of different weight, dropping balls or objects from different height. The 51 animation exercises, they have like a brick falling down from a shelf. Like that is something that you could do. And then as things get more complicated, you need to go into body mechanics. You could start with just a character taking a step. This is a tutorial that we'll be doing on this channel. Oop, there we go. This is a tutorial we'll be doing on this channel very soon. I'm already working on it, already recorded stuff for it. It's just a character taking a step to the side, to the right, and how the hip is balancing that and shifting the weight. That's already a tough body mechanics physics exercise if you really think about this. Center of gravity and base of support are a couple things that you could look up for that if you go into like balance and body mechanics. And other than that, weightlifting, like having a character lift like a heavy box. They are also great, like if you research that, there are other animators talking about these kinds of exercises on YouTube and in the internet. But you know, that's a very classic exercise, but still a very necessary, very good one to do. I lost my chat window again. Katie asked, could you maybe look at our animations and maybe do a critique video? You're very skilled. Thank you so much. Yeah, the thing is, I kind of stopped giving free critiques because I got so many emails that I had to make the hard decision. I currently can't, you know, I can't critique everybody's work. Unfortunately, as much as I want to, it just got too much in my email inbox. But there's still one very accessible option. You can support me on Patreon, and there's a group mentoring tier. And in the group mentoring tier, you can join a group mentoring session every month. And in the session, everybody can present their work in progress, art and animation, story ideas, stuff like that. And I'll be giving you feedback, drawing over it, and maybe also give you some exercises, tips and tricks, and yeah. So that's the group mentoring on Patreon. That's one thing that I'm still doing. And occasionally, I don't know if you know the 11-Second Club. It's an awesome competition on 11secondclub.org where you can, they give you a voice sample or sound effects, and you have to think about, okay, what could I animate? Who could I let who could say these lines? And then you animate that, and occasionally I do critiques of that here in the live stream. So that's an option too. But yeah, and of course, you know, Patreon helps me make more tutorials and do more videos. All right, let's go back to the animation. Hello, Dominic. Hello, Block. All right, so we need to do more elements. Now, again, I can do like, if we just point the other arm down, we have like a very boring samey breakdown. So I think what we could do is we could already have that arm come up a little bit, like he's already starting to push out. It still needs to lag behind a little bit, but you know, it's pointing up more than the other arm to give it some a nice broken rhythm. Not sure I want to keep it that way. Okay, for the ears, we're gonna have them point straight behind him. The tail, that's probably something that we're gonna change during a straight ahead pass, but for now let's just have it follow in that shape. And I think that's it. We have the belly line here. Whoop. Ah, this is nice. You know what I don't like? I end up not liking the arm coming out like this. The this one here. Let's just have it point straight down. Kind of unify the shape here. Yeah. And have this like super streamlined. You know, that's the thing, squash and stretch, it doesn't always need to be like an actual stretch. It can also just be the arm being close to the body that gives you like the impression that he's stretched. Love it. Okay. Ah, thank you, Block. Your tutorials are awesome. I just followed your animation exercise. And I could create my first animation. That's fantastic. Yeah, that's what it's all about, you know? I want to motivate you guys to actually start. Because, you know, from just watching a YouTube tutorial, that's only half of, that's not even half of it. Like, that's a quarter of it. The thing that you have to do is do it, practice it, work on it. That's great to hear. How long does it take to make a 5-minute animated video? That depends. If you like do super fluent Disney quality animation, it could take years. If you are doing like South Park style, you could be done in a day. It very much depends on the style and how much you want to animate. Scott says, I'll help you critique work. Yeah, that's a maybe, you know, maybe we should do like a once a month kind of session where people can just submit stuff during the live stream or something like that, and they get like a very short critique or something. I don't know. I don't want to cut off my people who are doing the group mentoring, but yeah, maybe occasionally we're gonna do free critiquing events, and it would be awesome if we could have other guest animators, and even in the Patreon group mentoring. Once this is picking up a little bit more, I also wanted to bring in more mentors, more professionals from the industry to give feedback to the Patreon supporters. So yeah, that's certainly gonna grow in some way or another. Yeah, Dominic, it depends. I'm currently working on a dance. I have 7 seconds and 110 frames. It took weeks at this point. Yeah, animation is a laborious process, certainly. Hello Tamai, nice to see you. Yeah, we have a lesson tomorrow. I'm teaching at a German university. Nice to see some of my students here, that's awesome. Okay, back to work. Let's see. The next point is how are we gonna get this monster down? Oh, by the way, if there are any students here from the SAE, I'm doing the morning session tomorrow. They switched it with me. I'm not doing the evening slot. So now we have the way down, and once again, because you know gravity kicks in gradually, that's the good old bouncing ball exercise. We're once again only starting with a slower spacing here, so something like that. Let's make it roughly the same height as the other one. Actually not. You know what? Let's have him be a little not so stretched, maybe. Just to see how that feels. And this time I want his head to be, well, his head and the Triforce. The Trident. Not the Triforce, that's something else. We're gonna do some video games later. I really want to play more Zelda, like Breath of the Wild. I never really got that much into it. We have a Wii U, so I really want to... Oh, let's actually tilt the head, like not trace the facial features, because I want him to tilt down just a little bit. And this will reveal more of his horn. You see, it's coming out there. Okay. Let's bring that whole face down. Or you know what, let's do the opposite of what I was just doing. Let's tilt his head up even more, so that he gets like this nice little, like, you don't even really see his horn anymore, and it's just all mouth. Yeah, like his head is tilting back. I think I like that more. And maybe rotate it a bit? Yeah, that's cool. Let's check it real quick if we are on the right track. Yeah. I'm just flipping through it. I love that tilt back. I think this is gonna work nicely. Let's have another look in the chat. If I can find the window again. Yes. Masta, what is the best animation software right now? That's always such a difficult question. There's so many wonderful softwares out there. I don't think you have to decide. It's like a toolbox. Like, you know, sometimes you need a screwdriver, sometimes you need a hammer. And animation software has different specialities, different strong suits and weak points. And I like to pick my animation software depending on the project. You know, what can this software do best, and what do I really need done best for this project? And yeah, some people are talking about OpenToonz, which I'm using currently right now. OpenToonz is free and very professional already, so that's a very good point to start if you don't want to spend any money. There are beginner animation tutorials on this channel, including about what software you should choose. So just look on YouTube for our 2D animation class playlist if you want to find out more. Yeah, and Toon Boom is very expensive. Indeed, indeed. Hi, Rupanka. Oh, and bye, Rupanka. That was a short visit. Oh, thank you, Tamai. That's very nice to hear. I'll try my best. I just like talking about animation, I think. That's like... I'm more like a person who can't shut up about animation than a good teacher. Okay, the tooth. You know what? Let's do a little bit of a drag of his tongue, like he's falling and the tongue is being dragged up. Let's see if that works. I'm not sure it will, but I'm gonna try it. Okay, why am I tracing the trident every time? It would be so much easier to already like put it somewhere where I can just copy and paste it. But I guess that makes it more lively, you know, because we're redrawing lines instead of just copy and pasting them. Actually, it's just keep the trident pretty much up here. Like, that can be like a very small ease at this point. I think something like that. Yeah, and for this hand we're doing something similar, like it's turning down. I kind of like to keep the bend here. I don't want to destroy the mouth shape. I really like it there. Ah, nice. I love that moment of gravity that keeps the trident up there. That is so nice. Just in chaos, are you using a tablet? I'm using a Cintiq 24 HD. I'm drawing on a Cintiq, which is a monitor where you can draw on directly with your pen. Ah, Block was suggesting some more animation software, Adobe Animate and After Effects. Yeah, and by the way, like I still do projects in both, like depending on what project I have. I totally switched to Adobe Animate, and for After Effects, especially for text animation, stuff like that. Really recommendation for that. Greetings to Uruguay, Santiago. Oh, and Moho is good too for rigged animation. Like if you're, I mean, they have some frame-by-frame options now, but I like building rigs in Moho, like much more actually than I like building rigs in Harmony. Like Harmony is insanely powerful and you can do crazy stuff in Harmony, but I don't know, it's just so, the interface is not that much fun, and somehow, yeah, I don't know how else to describe it. Rigging in Moho for me is much more fun than rigging in Harmony. Okay, so we need to finish up that frame. Let's kind of guesstimate what the tail is doing at this point. I mean, this half of it would come down. This. Yeah, I like that tail. Okay. So we have the impact here, and now for our last breakdown, we have him coming up. Harmony is still unstable. Like I hate it when Harmony crashed, even for like scenes that didn't seem that complicated. Can I export animation as a PNG sequence in OpenToons? Later on I want to import that sequence in Godot. Yeah, you can. Ah, some rigging troubles. I hear you, Santiago. I hear you. Okay, so what are we doing here? We are doing another bend over, and again let's just rough in the most important parts of the, oh, I messed this up. This needs to be a breakdown, so it's kind of like this. very much in the middle. Like this. And now let's just flip through it and see how it feels. I think instead of going in an arc like this, I think I want him to pull inward. Let's have like a little reversed C. Yeah, you see that? That's better. That makes him spring up in like a rotation. I like that. Justin says drawing with a mouse is too hard. Yeah, it is. I hear you. I started with a mouse too, and you know, you kind of get used to it, but I don't think it's good for your wrist to do it. And nowadays they are pretty affordable drawing tablets out there. If you look like for like XP Pen or Huion, they have some very good beginner offers. I wonder if I can give this monster like a double chin. I think this just looks too weird. We're gonna have to see during cleanup. But yeah, let's have his shape come out a lot in that direction. Yeah, before it's springing up, there's some nice contrast. You see that? There's some nice, it's round, it's even rounder the back, and now tick, it reverses in the last part of the animation. We have the reversal of the back shape. That's gonna be nice. Yeah, like $40, $60. It should be like a birthday or Christmas gift. And we have Black Friday soon. You need to make sure that, you know, keep your eyes peeled for special offers during Black Friday if you can wait that long. Hello, Susanna? Was that your name? Zosnona. Thank you for following. Welcome aboard. I really hope I can see the Twitch messages. Yes, I can. Yeah. Justin is only 13. Yeah, it's a lot of money when you are still going to school. I totally get that. How about we're already doing an ease here for the... I always want to say Triforce. Apparently my subconscious really wants to play Zelda. Shall we start a Let's Play channel here? So how about having the trident already come down and just like pivot over. have like a little late overshoot here. Let's see how that looks. I like that offset. I like that the trident is already down here. Ah, that gives it some nice physicality. Sweet. Okay, what else is going on? We have like a nice... I guess this is still facing forward. An overlap for the ears. Pointing in the direction where they are coming from. And let's keep the arm. I mean, I guess it needs to go a little further back, but keep it kinda not doing a lot of things that could distract from the other delicious motions that are going on. We did good, people. I think this is working quite well. I like to do timing last, so just flipping through it for now. Oh, we forgot the ears here. How could we have forgotten about the ears? Because they are actually doing something nice right here. They are flipping up. I mean, they should still point back, but I like them to be a little bit stiff too, so maybe that works like that. And what's kind of annoying is the shape not being painted in. I think that would help if we don't have that changing. And it will definitely help us see the tongue. Still not sure about that. Wow. There was a tail missing here. I'm really a master of forgetting things right now. Ooh, that's a tricky one too, because we don't want to put it into the trident shape. Ah, interesting. Ravi Shankar, can you please make a series or live session on a complete animated movie in OpenToonz? Yeah, I kind of started that already with that Big Scary Bear short. There's like one video, one live stream where I was talking about writing animation. And I still gonna work on that short film. And I wanna live stream as much as possible while I work on this live stream. All the way from beginning to finish. Since I'm moving to a new house, in October, November. I'm probably only gonna get back to that in like November, December. But my plan is to show the production of an entire film from beginning to end. Justin is wondering about how to animate on paper. Yeah, I mean, it kind of shifts your problem only a little bit. You still need a device to capture your drawings, like a scanner or a camera. Yeah, and in that regard, paper can be very expensive as well. Nice. Okay, we did all the important decisions now. I think we can go into timing. So for timing, fairly simple. Let's just drag those out again. Make sure that everything lands on uneven numbers. And let's kind of feel out how quick we want things to move. And yeah, if you really have no idea about timing, I would recommend like doing everything like on fours or something like that. Actually, it's in OpenToonz we can do that in one click. We can select the entire thing here and we can say reframe on fours, and now it's holding everything for 4 frames. And yeah, this is not a good timing yet, but it gives us a point to feel out how we want to start. So we probably know that we want the beginning to start slower, so I'm gonna add 2 frames here and 2 frames here. And now let's just check the bending over part by making this exposure very long, and then we can just feel out like, maybe that's a little too slow. Maybe it was good on fours, actually. Yeah, why not? We just need to hold this one a little longer. And have him jump up. And let's hold him in the air for a little longer. Even longer before coming down. And this way we can feel out the timing how we want it to be. And here we're back on fours. Actually, something is wrong here. We should always land on uneven frame numbers. And I think there we have it. think this is a good timing to work with. Okay, the delay in the air, this kind of needs to be symmetric. So maybe we should just take that off. How many frames do we have here? 7 frames, 7 frames. It should be 6. So we land on uneven frame numbers. This is a cool thing on OpenToonz. You can just select an area here and it's gonna tell you this is 8 frames. Let's maybe try it on 6 too, I think. Yeah, for his size. I feel like there are always 2 frames missing when he's coming down. Oh, that's the wrong one. Here, this one I feel like is 2 frames missing. I want him to be in the air longer. Okay, I think that's quite a decent timing that we have here. Now, what's going on in the chat? Ah, thank you, Samantha. That's nice to hear. Good luck with your animations homework. All the songs that I'm using are from filmstro.com. Filmstro.com is a music database, costs a little bit of money, but if you're looking for music for your own film, it's cleared for YouTube. You can use it on YouTube without getting any problems, and it's actually really cool. I need to show that to you in another live stream eventually. You can animate the music with sliders. You can like slide them up if you want the music to get like more intense or something like that. You can drag and animate a slider, which is really cool to make the music fit to your film. Yeah. Ah, still some good animation software tips here. Yeah, and also like phone apps. That's like it's kind of like I never think about animating on tablets or phones, but that's a really great option nowadays. Like when I started animating, that was not an option. But you know, everybody has a phone. Some phones and tablets have very good pen support. That's a very good option. All right, okay, I think I'm gonna call it a day for today, unfortunately. But last but not least, I once again have to tell you about our Patreon. If you want to support me to make more animation tutorials, more projects, I really want to work on some short films together with you guys, then Patreon is an excellent way to support me. And we have a group mentoring tier on Patreon. That means you can, as a group mentor student, you can join a mentoring session every single month where you can bring whatever you're currently working on. It can be a drawing, it can be a character design, an animation, a story idea, and you will get feedback from a professional mentor like me. Hopefully soon we're gonna also have some guest mentors occasionally to give you tips and tricks draw over it, help you make it even better than it already is. And we can of course also give you career advice and exercises that you might benefit from. So yeah, that's the group mentoring on Patreon, where you can get feedback on your art and animation every single month. Now, I want to have one last look at my animation, because I think, yeah, there's a nice little guy jumping here. We did good today. I should do more work on stream, I think. It was a lot of fun with you guys, talking in the chat. If you have any more questions or something, maybe we have time for like a little question at the end. Let's see. All right. No, I think we got it for today. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone in the chat. I had a lot of fun tonight working with you, and I'm looking forward to the next one. And keep your eyes peeled for the tutorial that is coming out hopefully soon, featuring this little monster here. And the tutorial will be a lot more condensed than like the hour-long live streams. You know, I'll teach you in like 5 to 10 minutes how to animate this and what the most important steps are. So that tutorial is coming out soon. Keep your eyes open for that. And yeah. Maybe there's one more question. I just saw something. Justin, yeah, here's a way how you can animate with a mouse, actually. Yeah, you can use vectors. Actually, I did an entire production like this. We had one production where it was very important to have clean shapes. So what we would do is we would actually animate just with the, I think it was like a polyline tool kind of thing. And then we would go in, and in OpenToonz you can do that with the contour point editor tool. Then you can go in and manipulate these points. I'm doing everything with the mouse right now. I'm just holding the mouse here. How do you do? I think with Alt you can convert the points. Can you? Didn't I do a tutorial about this? Like, how do you break tangents again and join tangents? Actually, that's what I'm looking for. Anyway, so you can use vectors to like manipulate lines like this, and this way build the shape that you want to have. So like, let's say if we want to do a duck, you could use the shape tool in polyline mode, and you would do like a square version of a duck. There are also some tools that can help you already make curves. Oh, actually you can with the polyline tool, I think. You can, yeah, you can click and drag. And this way you can go in and make your duck like that. Yeah, we were doing that project in Harmony. I'm not that versed with the polyline tool in OpenToonz, and then you would go in and create the shape you actually want to have. And in my case, I actually want to have sharp corners here. this. And it's a little bit like sculpting, you know? It's more like sculpting than like drawing, because you need to like do a lot of mouse clicks to get your shapes right. But you know, when you would do like a character that you rig, where you want the line work to be absolutely perfect, you could do it with these vector tools. And yeah, that is still no perfect duck, but it's getting there. Yeah, it was Alt or Shift, right? To break and merge tangents, but it doesn't... Ah, now it worked. I swear I was doing that. I was clicking Alt and... Ah, now they're joined again. Okay, I'm being sucked in by this duck here. And then, you know, we can give it some eyes. This is horrible. Oh my. Yeah, definitely look for a better tutorial on this, but just so you know, vectors exist, and that is actually a very decent way to animate with the mouse. Okay. There is a question, I think. Is it? For some reason my the Twitch chat is not showing up. From Zosnona. To do a quick animation, is it best to do the drawings with vectors or the brush pen? Do you mean bitmap? Like really actually like a soft brush? Personally, I do prefer vectors. Even like for almost any project, because the cool thing about vectors is that I need to get rid of this duck. The cool thing about vectors, you know, what I have been doing throughout the entire process, that I go in and change like single lines, this is much easier in vector. You can just click and it selects that entire horn, and I can, you know, position it in a way that I like better. Some people prefer, when they're scribbling, they prefer bitmap brushes, but I really also like it for scribbling, to like quickly position things differently. And then for clean line work, it's a really cool way to tweak your poses, to tweak your shapes. Like to go in and be like, hey, I want this to, you know, be a little more chubby, maybe have a little bit of an elbow here, and then you can just go in and tweak. Oh, you can't see anything. I'm sorry. So what I was saying is, you can go in like to single lines like this, and like bring out the elbow or something like that if you would like to do that, or be like, this feather stroke here is too much, then vector allows you to just go in, select those single strokes and change that. The horn here has been a single brush stroke that you can just click and move. So I don't know, I just really like those advantages of working on in vector. But if you want to have like watercolor, or you want to do like charcoal drawings with like structure in your brush, then bitmap brushes are much better usually than vector brushes. Yeah. All right. I gotta go now, but thank you all so much for the nice evening chatting here. It was a lot of fun, and we did some awesome animation, and I'm looking forward to next time. Have a great, fantastic evening, day, whatever it is in your part of the world, and keep on animating.